You've probably been hearing a lot about Bernard Arnault recently. He's one of the wealthiest individuals on the planet, and the driving force behind Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy, or LVMH. Known for his opulent lifestyle and impressive business empire, Arnault once set his sights on acquiring Gucci. However, despite his immense resources, the deal fell through, leaving Gucci outside his realm. In this video, we dive into the story behind the missed opportunity and what it could have meant for both brands. Bernard Arnault has bought a number of fashion businesses, although he has not founded any of them. He made so much money from his family's construction business that he purchased Christian Dior's parent firm and began his career from there. Whether it was Fendi, Celine, or Hermès, whatever Bernard Arnault admired became part of his empire. When it wasn't done with love, he often used legal fights and guile to take them over. Arnault had a straightforward strategy: first purchase a modest but significant share in any brand, and then influence the internal team and board members. When the perfect moment arose, he made a large offer to purchase the entire firm, presenting it in a way that no one could resist. In 1999, Arnault, the CEO of LVMH, started a battle to take over Gucci. At that time, Gucci faced certain problems and was in a critical period of development. Its CEO, Domenico De Sole, had only just saved the company from the verge of financial collapse by increasing the stock value from $32 to $56 in 1 year. Another rising star was Tom Ford, the designer who was already attracting much attention at Gucci, along with De Sole. During their reign, Gucci slowly started to get back on track and was well on its way to becoming a powerhouse in the fashion world. During this period of recovery, news emerged that Bernard Arnault was eyeing Gucci for acquisition. To avoid such a threat, De Sole acted quickly. He and his team contacted their banker, Morgan Stanley, to monitor Gucci's stock movement and gather information on any suspicious purchases. On January 5, 1999, De Sole received a call from Henri Recamier, the president of Louis Vuitton and personal friend. Recamier informed De Sole that LVMH had acquired a 5% stake in Gucci and was about to make this information public. He suspected that this was just the beginning of a more aggressive attempt by LVMH to take over Gucci. In response to the alarming news, De Sole quickly gathered key personnel at Gucci's London office. He then reached out to Morgan Stanley to request their anti-takeover specialist, only to discover that this specialist was about to go on a year-long sabbatical. This realization further deepened De Sole's concern that a well-organized conspiracy was underway to undermine Gucci and take control of the company. The story is quite dramatic. De Sole then contacted Michael P. Esser of Morgan Stanley's European Mergers and Acquisitions Group. For Michael, this would have been a smaller matter, but he had a score to settle with Bernard Arnault, so he decided to help Gucci. Unfortunately, Morgan Stanley's anti-takeover specialist had not prepared any defenses before going on leave. There were only two classes of defenses. If there was a takeover, De Sole would have the right to resign. And if any entity took more than 35%, Tom Ford would also have the complete freedom to resign. At that time, Gucci's net worth was $8.7 billion, so Arnault could easily arrange this amount of money. But the later brands in the fashion industry did not have this kind of identity, especially when they had to make a decision quickly. After the purchase, Arnault had acquired a 9.5% stake in the company, and each share had only a quarter share of the company. When no solution was found, they directly talked to Arnault and asked him to slow down. Arnault said he would not compete for the rest of the research period, but wanted 3 seats on the board of Gucci. This was also a way to establish his control. Hence, when Gucci rejected this offer, LVMH joined Gucci in the competition. Arnault acquired 34.4% of Gucci's stock. If he had acquired more, he would have probably left the company. But he couldn't bear the thought of losing to Arnault. So he resorted to a risky strategy. He planned to release more shares of Gucci in the market. When a company releases additional shares, the existing shares get diluted. For example, if a company has a total of 100 shares and you own 10 shares, you have 10% of the company. But if the company releases 100 more shares, the total shares become 200, and your 10 shares are now only 5% of the company. Companies don't usually do this unless in greater danger, because it causes the value to fall and investors to lose money. Arnault was under the impression that Gucci couldn't raise the share value by more than 20% as per the rules. If Gucci did so, Arnault would only have to spend 20% more to acquire Gucci. But he didn't know that this rule applied only to American companies, so Gucci could do whatever they wanted. However, no big investor wanted to directly mess with Arnault. Therefore, Gucci distributed its shares among its own employees. This process is called the Employee Stock Ownership Plan, or ESOP, under which Gucci issued 20 million new shares and reduced Arnault's share from 34.4% to 25%. This made fashion investors develop confidence in Gucci, and then a businessman by the name of François Pinault invested in Gucci and even provided financial support. The agreement made with Gucci was that 40 million shares would be floated at $75, while the face value was $300 million. With this, Pinault would own 42% of Gucci, effectively putting an end to Arnault's dream of owning Gucci. After this deal, Arnault's stake would be further diluted, and his total holding in the company would come down to 19.6%. De Sole was a bit apprehensive about this deal, but Pinault told him that he would have about a week to consider the offer. Last but not least, Tom Ford spoke to De Sole, and the acquisition was made. But this was not the end of the matter. The goal was to embarrass Arnault. Thus, Pinault purchased the brand YSL together with Gucci, because prior to purchasing Gucci, Arnault had his eye on YSL. But he paid no attention to YSL to concentrate on Gucci. Not only did Arnault lose his company to Gucci, but they also stole YSL from him as well. Arnault did not resign himself to the end. He even said he would purchase Gucci for $8.7 billion, but nothing came out of it. The only way for Arnault to free himself was to sell his stakes in Gucci, which he did in 2001. If we try to see this whole incident from today's angle, it was fruitful for Gucci because now they get a partner in Pinault, who was willing to invest. For Pinault, it was also a win-win situation, as today 60% of his company's turnover is generated by Gucci, and 70% of his profit is also generated by Gucci. Bernard Arnault is also having a good time, and despite his failure to buy Gucci, he's still the richest man in the world. What's your take? Was Bernard Arnault spot on with his takeover move, or should he have steered clear of such bold strategies? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I hope today's video gave you some fresh insights. If you liked it, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more.